They wasted no time getting it all over the board and everything that was canceled tonight. That was good. I can't find the YouTube link.
Okay, we're live on YouTube, so it worked. It says.
Can't find the YouTube link.
Hold on. Okay, we're live on YouTube, so I can hear myself on YouTube.
You have to shut the YouTube down, right?
Hold on. Did you say you need the link? I was trying to turn my YouTube volume down so I don't hear me
I
in the
could have
background.
YouTube link.
You don't have it?
No.
Okay. Luckily, I emailed it to myself today, I think. Should have just sent it to you.
City phone or city? Mine. City?
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
it does did it. Yeah, you should have got it. Yep. Hello, Paul. Only one other person here now. Paul, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I had you muted. Do you know how to mute and unmute yourself for when you need to talk?
Yes. I
Okay.
believe yes.
Okay, then just keep yourself muted till we get started. You'll be first. And yeah, it's just right next to your name on the participants list to mute and unmute. So. Okay, we're not here. Here comes everybody. Hello.
Ann,
Hey. Mm. It's moving right now.
Am I muted, Leon?
Nope, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Feel free to mute and unmute. Okay.
Quite a change to the agenda.
Sure is.
Am I muted, Leon?
Nope, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Feel free to mute and unmute.
I'm fixing that, Leanne. You heard mine.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, wait, my volume's down, so that wasn't me.
Yeah, you heard mine. It's fixed.
Okay. Got scared. We are trying out YouTube. Okay. There's no room for you.
Councilman Minnick, you guys run it so well. We're trying it now.
Pardon me, Walt?
You guys run the YouTube and the Zoom so well. We're going to give it a shot today.
Great. Might not have an audience per the mayor's last email.
yeah, I was thinking, Leon, that's probably the first thing we should mention is that item's not on the docket anymore. I don't know how many people are going on the website to see that it was pulled.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm missing.
Leanne can save her voice tonight.
Yeah.
I've been drinking tea all day in preparation.
That's what I figured you rehearsed it.
I thought you were gonna say you've been drinking all day today.
That might, yeah, then you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. What are we missing of our members?
All right. Well, hey, just want to say hello to everybody. Happy holidays. I'll probably be muted and unscreened throughout this, but I figured, hey, I allocated this time. I got to come, see one of the finest commissions Fairview Park has ever seen.
Oh.
Good evening, Councilman.
Too kind.
That Grizzly Adams?
He did have a beard.
How you guys doing? Haven't seen you in a while.
No, good. Yeah. Everything's steady way. We're arraignment room's running on Saturday, so
Oh, you're kidding me.
we even went in last Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. So always a busy courtroom on 12.
Wow. I get those notices every day and I'm like, it's amazing that place is still open.
Yeah, it's definitely open. So, but all right. Well, otherwise, good seeing everybody, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Hello, John.
Hello. How are you?
Doing fine. How about yourself?
Okay. I'm getting tired of my basement.
Hey, Nick,
Yeah.
before it starts, do you want to make an announcement about the previous last docket so nobody's waiting?
I don't know, I was gonna let everybody wait and watch the whole thing, get the process, and just let them know. It's like, ending with like your best songs, so people don't leave the show early. I was gonna make an announcement right at the beginning. I guess if anything, that docket really, I know most of you guys, it opened up like my old, all the zoning and charters we had in there, about how the rezoning works.
Hi, everybody.
Mayor?
Here.
Hello, Mayor.
Juliana, looks like we got everybody on here, so we'll start in a couple minutes.
It's good. Yeah, it looks like we have all our members. A few extras. And I know I already saw the first docket item applicant sign on somewhere on here, so. Oh yeah, we have all the members, so whenever you want to start.
All right, let's see, 7 o'clock, we'll start. All right. Welcome everybody to the December 16th Planning Commission meeting. First item we'll mention on the docket for, see if everybody's here, is docket item 12-20-30P for the rezoning of parcel 321-29027 for the Jiffy Loop has been pulled from the agenda. The applicant kind of notified the commission this afternoon that they will not be pursuing the rezoning of that plot of land. So they're pulling their application. So that is not on the agenda tonight. So anybody who is here for that docket item, they can sign off or they could stay on. And
could you please repeat what you said about the rezoning? I'm sorry, I was muted. I mean, I was not on audio.
Oh yeah, not a problem. Yeah, so they've decided to pull their application for the rezoning. They're not going to be pursuing it anymore, and they're not looking to rezone any other locations. So that is removed from the agenda for tonight, and it will not be on any ongoing agendas with the city.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. But we are welcome to stay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Nick.
All right, you're welcome.
Your house for coffee.
All right, so with that, we'll begin meeting with the roll call.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Here.
Mr. Jika.
Here.
Mr. Kimmich.
Here.
Councilman Minnick.
Here.
Ms. Kramer.
Here.
Mr. Movick.
Here.
Mayor Cooney.
Here.
All right, next item. Do I have a motion for approval of the minutes from October 21st, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Mr. Jika.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmich.
Yes.
Councilman Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Kramer.
Yes.
Mr. Movick.
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
All right. We'll begin with the first item, docket 12-20-25P, 1405 Lorraine Road, Paul Gergish, Fash Signs applicant. Review of
Yep.
plan for signage.
Excuse me?
All right. Paul is presenter. If you can go over your application and kind of tell the
yeah.
commission what's being presented here.
At that location, there's an existing sign that all we're going to do is change the face of it. Put a new, it currently reads Custom Fit Kids. We're going to change the copy on that sign to read Eden Academy. The double-sided sign, just the face will be changed. Nothing else in terms of the structure will be changed. Secondarily, there's a secondary sign that's going to go above the door. That's just going to say the same thing, Eden Academy. It's a 30 by 72 inch sign. That'll just reinforce the idea that sign you see at the street, this is the entrance to the academy. There's two signs at the location. One is already existing.
Members, in your packet, we've included the existing sign as custom fit kid and the original design with the multiple colors. The owner and the applicant have decided on this proposed new sign identified with just the 3 colors as permitted by zoning. And that's the orange, the red, and the white.
Walt, I don't have an orange, red, and white option in my packet.
Yeah, basically what all changed, everything on that sign that you see, Eden Academy, which is in orange, the flower, I'm going to call it a flower, that's off to the left of Eden, what has the multiple colors, that has been changed just to a shade of orange. It's all one color now.
The applicant dropped this off relatively late. It should be in your packet, as part of your packet. This was the last item identified in the application. I'm sorry if you don't have it. I don't know how I can display it if you don't have it. Let me see.
I have, it's the first sign picture. Yeah, after, like their actual application, the one Walt's showing.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so Eden's, and it actually looks a little bit clearer on yours, Walt. That Eden's going to be in red. Is that going to be in red text, or is that in orange too?
Orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Gergash, it's going to be a lighter color orange, the flower, than the writing. Is that?
Yes.
That's the cast. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, question, is the sign above the door going to have any kind of border around it to kind of mimic the where the monumental, the kind of the main sign?
We could definitely do that. That's not a problem to add that border. It would probably enhance the sign a little bit more.
I think so. I think it'd match a little bit better with what's going on in the front. So yeah, if you could add a similar black border to that.
Okay.
Mr. Gergash,
Yes.
I'm looking at your application here. You note that the height of the sign from grade is 36 inches. This is in reference to the monument sign. What's that measurement, 36? Is that to the bottom of the sign? Clearly, it's not. It's higher than 36 inches.
The bottom of the sign to the ground is 36.
What's
Yes.
the distance to the height of the sign, to the top?
Well, it'd be 36 plus the 43. So 90.
Is it? I guess here's where I'm going, and I don't know, Walt, if you've looked at this. Does this become a non-conforming sign because you're changing the identity of it? And if so, do you have aren't there issues here with the 6 foot height requirement and the 24 square foot facing limitation?
It is not. The previous sign, the custom fit kids, was approved. That signage, this is basically just a face change. All the existing was approved. I'm not sure if it required a zoning at the time, but it was approved at planning, and it was zoning compliant at the time if it did not need a zoning variance.
I guess, but yeah, wouldn't they now though? I guess is my point. If they're over the 24 square foot limit and over the 6 foot height limit, isn't it a non-conforming sign?
No, the sign is, if it was in fact zoning compliant before, it's still zoning compliant. They haven't changed the sign. The structure is existing.
I'll leave it to maybe the law. I mean, the way I look at it legally is, the question is, it's being changed now. So the question is, does it conform to the existing zoning laws and building codes? So, whether it complied in the past is almost irrelevant.
That's not true. If there was a zoning variance granted, it was granted for the property, then we can't change that now.
Hmm.
All right, let's open it up. Any other questions from the commission on this? Okay, I'll just open it up to the public. Any questions from anybody else? Comments?
Nobody's saying, raising their hand or chatting to me, so I don't see anyone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'll take it as well as if you guys, maybe because the structure is already existing, it's more of a refacing than a new.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I started going off and talking and talking and talking. I didn't realize I was on mute. I think that the fact that the structure of the sign was granted a variance before, and since the structure of the sign itself is not being changed, that you would not need a new variance by just changing what's on the sign. So I think that the variance, I'm pretty sure the variance is still good for the structure itself, as long as they're not changing the structure. So for our purposes, we're just considering what's going to be on the sign, not necessarily the structure itself.
Great. All right.
If they were changing the structure itself, then I think Matt's right. I think they'd have to go back to Board of Zoning Appeals and get a variance.
Thank you, John.
All right. If there's not any more questions or comments, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve docket 122025P with the addition of the border around the sign above the door.
Second.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Mr. Jika.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmich.
Yes.
Councilman Minnick.
Yes.
Ms. Kramer.
Yes.
Mr. Mubik.
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I received approval. Moving on. We're moving on to docket 12-20-26P, 19384 Lorraine Road, George Barrows, Synchronous Construction.
Hi, I'm here for Synchronous, representing George Barrows.
Great.
What is your name?
My name is Lisa Napaver, Najpa, V as in Victor, ER.
Okay. So Lisa, if you can kind of walk us through what's being proposed, and we're going to be doing the exterior of the building.
Sure. We're just changing the front where we walked in sort of late to the project for the owner, and we want to make it residential friendly because I believe it may have been business in the past. But we have replaced 4 windows on the front of the street, and I believe I sent a picture in the packet. And then we want to surface it on the area that's highlighted. We want to put a tile that will just add a little bit of texture and color to the front of it. Again, we will paint it come the springtime to be complementary and friendly to the neighbor that has the brown home that is to the west of the residence. I'm sorry, east of the residence. And that's basically it. Nothing major. We had to do a lot of work on the inside, and we have plumbing and electrical inspection tomorrow, but we would just like to get the front face surface so we can get it insulated and get it warm for the winter while we continue the interior work.
So what is the use of the building right now?
It's vacant. Somebody purchased it who oftentimes does them as rentals, but he purchased this with the intent of selling it as a one-family home.
Gotcha, okay.
Lisa, so the tile that's going to be installed in the spring, it's going to be painted? Is that?
The tile itself, we're going to install, it will be sealed prior to installation and after, but the rest of the surface around the home, they had spray painted it with a white primer. We're going to actually paint it so it matches the stonework and the brown trim on the building.
Okay, and what about the tile itself? Is that?
The tile will stay. It's a multicolor natural stone.
Okay,
So it's going to have browns and I'm going to say like orange family, more like a clay color, just to give it a little softer, warmer look to it. It had four different surfaces on it. And it just was very hodgepodge put together. So we're trying to bring it all together so it looks like one family unit as opposed to add on.
Since I'm not a architect, or maybe I'll defer to the chairperson here, but it says it's for shower floors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is that typical to use shower floor tile as a facing on a building?
Yes,
it's issues that might experience.
It's just going to be, I don't want to say it a facade, but it's the fascia on it, and it's durable to medium to heavy traffic areas. The key is to make sure that we seal it prior and that we have the proper sealing on the backside of it as well. If you would object, we can always change it to a different tile, but we just want to put something that is sound and solid and looks appealing to the eye, but it's also durable for a family to purchase.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, why not use like something you see on newer homes with like almost like a brick overlay, or just, to me, it looks kind of like it jumps out at me. It's almost clashing, seeing sort of this orangish shower tile on the front of a building.
Sure. We can do something that's a little more in track with times. We tend to do a lot of streamlined contemporary when we do our remodels on the interior. And that's generally the look that we do. We do a lot of porcelain tile on the floors, porcelain tile on the walls and whatnot. And I believe that was the look that we were going for. But we can reflect, a more traditional standard brick look on the outside.
Mr. Kavanaugh, the directions actually say not a shower floor, not to be used in wet locations or a shower floor.
Oh, okay. I was reading that
Okay,
wrong.
there you go. Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
I actually read that the same way as you did just before the meeting started, and I've read this several times.
Okay.
I apologize. Yeah.
I think it's the opposite. That is kind of what you would want, because it is water absorbent. And I think you mentioned, Lisa, you'd have to seal it.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with this slate is pretty much the cold weather you're going to get in our area. So if it does absorb water, it's likely going to crack and kind of spall off the face of the slate.
Okay.
Sealants typically only last you a couple years. And so if you're thinking of like long-term durability,
Mm-hmm.
Unless the resident's sealing it every 2 to 5 years,
3 years.
It's not going to last.
Okay.
I would go back and probably pick a different material. I have seen slate used as facades before, but it's more as like a rain screen system to let water work its way out of it.
Okay.
So yeah, I would come back with a different material, and also kind of to Matt's point too. I think it's for residents. Those are pretty bright tones.
Okay.
So I tone it down a little bit.
Okay. The color on the website looked a little bit better, and I apologize for my printer.
Yeah, I
We're having difficulty getting ink lately.
Yeah, that's fine, because you describe more of a clay. This is
Yeah.
like a fluorescent orange on the
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's not actually reflective, but if
Oh,
you go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know the building to the west, it's pretty large building. It's a blonde brick. I don't know if that's something when, I'm looking to match with the brown, but that's just
An
something to
idea.
consider.
Okay.
But I've seen the work that's been going on there, and it's, you guys they're doing it's a full rehab. It's great to
is.
see the investment.
I've been in a couple of times and it's considerable, the amount of work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
But it's a good floor plan. It's going to look great when it's completed.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't look like much right now.
Well, and I've been over but in that parking lot next door, and I've seen what they're doing a lot of extensive repairs and rehab. So appreciate the investment and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If I present, I'm unfamiliar. I worked out in Sheffield Village, so I'm unsure what the procedure here. If you prefer not to have this late, can I submit an additional, a different style? Will I have to wait for the next meeting, or can I submit it? And that would be adequate.
Our legal counsel's jumping in here.
Okay.
He's still muted.
He's on mute. There we go. John, next meeting is January 20th, and the deadline is December 30th for the next meeting.
All right, I'm sorry, my iPad's acting up, so it's very slow. Yeah, I think we can just table that and have them come back to the next meeting without them having to reapply.
Okay.
That's great. Walter, John, do we need to make a motion to table it then, or do we just?
Yeah, we probably should do a motion to table it and have them come back in January.
Okay.
So moved.
I feel, are we holding up construction? It sounded like you needed to get it insulated in the meantime.
We really do want to. I was there today, and just to finish everything off, there's gaps. We're hoping to have the gas on in the next couple of days and get some heat in there so that, because we can't do drywall or anything. But there's considerable gaps, and I believe that we don't want to do much until we know how we're going to surface it.
When you first started talking, you used the word facade. I feel like we still could get it insulated without
doing that,
without having this ready to go, right? So you guys are be okay for
I'm sure if we need to, we will make it work.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Walt, would that be an option for him to have some insulation temporarily while they?
I think part of the concern would be what the substrate is underneath the tile. If they're going to stick with tile, the wonder board or the cementatious board or whatever the substrate would be underneath the tile would be okay for a finish until we get the next meeting. But if they're going to change it to wood or vinyl, it would still be a wood substrate with a vapor barrier. I mean, either way, before finish goes on, I don't see a problem with them getting it ready for insulation and drywall.
Okay.
Good point, Dan. Thank you for bringing that up.
All right, with that, I'm going to make a motion to table docket 12-20-26P into the next meeting.
Second.
Mr. Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Jika,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmich,
Yes.
Councilman Ninick,
Yes.
Ms. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Movick,
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
Thank
Great.
you. I appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, I'll go to docket 12-20-27P 22245 Lorraine Road, Leon Sampit, applicant.
How you doing? Leon Sampat, LS Architects, 28207 Lorraine Road. So yeah, we're here for the former Rapco building, which was the old Lawson structure. We're looking at doing a new restaurant, fast casual, Japanese style food. So the actual address for that building is actually 22255, not 45. There's not currently we don't have a name for the tenant space yet. So we will be coming back for the tenant signage. But we are trying to get the facade renovation approved here today so we can kind of continue with our construction. So like I said, we're doing a full interior and exterior renovation of this building. As part of the exterior renovation, we're looking at kind of making this look a lot less like the old Lawson's building, adding some height to it because it is set back a little over 100 feet from the road. So we're to add that height, and because we're going to be putting hoods in there for the cooking equipment, we're putting up a 6'8" high screen wall to the existing roof. So the existing structure is 12 foot tall. So that would make the new structure about 19 foot. And then we're adding a kind of a boxed out tower in the northwest corner of the structure for future signage. And then that tower would top out at about 21 feet. So all of that would be really just to screen the mechanical equipment up there, but it also gives a lot of height to the structure. That piece would be built out with 4x4 steel, pre-finished. And then we've got this, here's this AZEK slat board would go in between that. So we'd leave about 3/4 inches between there, allow some air movement so we're not creating a big sail up there. But then we'll also use that material above the existing windows. There's just concrete there now. We'll cut it down. Instead of it being 5.5 inches, we're going to actually trim it down to about 3 inches to give it the same look and the same color above the windows. And then the black box that we'd be constructing out of metal stud, but then we'd skin it with pre-finished steel panels. And then to kind of finish off the edges of the building, we're wrapping that with a bent steel plate, 16 gauge steel plate, painted black to make that look like an old steel beam to cover up the old concrete T's that are exposed right now. We do show a red brake metal cap on both the building and the tower that we're adding. That we'd actually like to change. Instead of brake metal, we're looking to change that to a little bit more of an illuminated red, kind of lightly, like very mildly illuminated. I should say it's going to be just to try to draw some more attention because the building's set back so far. It'll give it a little bit more. It'll make it stand out a little bit more. But it would essentially be a internally illuminated red panel. I don't know. And then right now we painted the building to match the rest of the center, but we would go ahead and repaint that to just be all white to match more of what we're trying to do with this structure. I think that's about it. I don't think anybody's got any questions. Oh, actually, I forgot about the ground sign. We're also proposing here to get the ground sign for the whole center built. So that's also, we've got that shown on our SD1 site plan. We do show the cornice of that sign to kind of match more of the main strip. So that's why we got that cornice on the building we just renovated was about 1'3" tall. So we wanted to make that match the sign. So that's why we've got the sign face at 7'6", but we're actually topping out at about 10 foot. I think our max sign face was 8 foot. So we're trying to compromise a little bit on that. So that way we can make it at least look like the building versus just putting a flat top on it.
I guess, Leon, to go back what you're just describing, we were describing the kind of illuminated panel. Where is that on?
So it'd be the two red. If you look on the rendering, it says OP number 1. It's the color rendering of the building.
Yeah.
It should be 11 by 17. So the two red areas, they would only be about 4 inches tall.
Okay.
And it would be mildly lit. So it's not going to be a bright red, just to kind of draw some more attention to it at night.
So are these colors, like if the restaurant or whatever that's going into that space, are these their colors they want you to use for the building?
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of the traditional, more of the Japanese, the red and the white, and then the black would be more. That's not really the color. That would be more of the color that we're trying to use to kind of, accent the building.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just it creates a lot of contrast. As you're describing the main strip that was done, which is wonderful. This is a big kind of contrast to kind of that.
It is.
There.
I mean, the one other option. I mean, I could leave the, versus a stark white. I could. My original thought was to just. We've got a two-tone color on there now with the darker charcoal, and then a gray. My first thought was to just keep the gray and just get rid of the charcoal, so that way it's maybe not as stark of a contrast from the strip. At least it ties in a little bit more. So I think that would be okay to do that too. So.
Yeah, I was gonna go both ways. I don't know if it's worth looking at. Just the black's really a lot of contrast to it. I was originally thinking the other way. I was thinking more that maybe the black gets toned down, but yeah, there's a lot of black, and especially with that that AZEK wood panel that's going there. So is that sitting behind the metal tube that's kind of the fence that's up there?
Is that what? Sorry, I missed that.
So in those AZEK panels are sitting behind.
No, they're actually it's gonna be custom made. So they're gonna be 4x4 steel posts, and then the AZEK panel will be spanning between the posts. So the steel, it'll be a steel frame. Steel 4x4 post. So those and a 4x4 top, and then in between, in the center of that would be the AZEK board, and we're going to maintain about 3/4 inches between each board to allow air movement through that.
I got you. Okay, so you're trying to keep a little, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean this is really to screen a lot of the equipment. Some of this equipment, we're putting actually 2 new rooftops, and then 2 exhaust fans and a new makeup air unit. So we've got 5 new pieces of equipment that are going on top of the roof.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good way to screen all that stuff.
No, I agree. I like what you're doing as far as adding these kind of elements to screen the equipment. It's a great way to hide it, what's up there.
And we're trying to be cost effective too, because I don't know if I can add that much height and build a second story essentially.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just wondering if there's a way to tone it down a little bit. I don't know if you kind of keep some of the kind of the darker, blacker elements in there just at certain points and not carry out.
Now the black I could go with more of a charcoal instead of black. So it actually that's really the color of that charcoal is the base of what we got in the building now, the strip center. I could match that and then maybe keep the white then. So now it's really white and charcoal versus the stark black.
I think that would look better, especially with the adjoining building.
Yeah, I would not have a problem with that. I mean, to me, the charcoal is close enough to black for the look that we're trying to get.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll help, definitely.
Mr. Sampat, you mentioned the lighting of the red ribbon.
Yes.
Is that going to appear as like a neon light, or
No,
what's going to appear?
No, it's going to be a very dull red illuminated. So it'll be like a plexi, a backlit plexi essentially. So there's not going to be direct light.
Okay.
And I could actually bring a sample, because we're gonna make, I think, I don't know if we're gonna make the December, the December 30th is next submittal, correct?
That's
Or
correct.
January. So I don't think we're gonna make that with the signage. But I can actually bring a sample of that product to that meeting, and I don't necessarily need to get that approved today. Because I'd like to get some of the stuff, the facade started, but that wouldn't be done. So we could get that approved in February.
So I guess, Leon, we talked about changing the black tone to more of a charcoal. Would you do that throughout the building or just at certain spots? Are you thinking everything that's black on?
I'm thinking everything that's black would be charcoal at that point.
Okay.
I don't know that I want black and charcoal mixed.
Yeah.
You know, to me, looking at the charcoal that's on the building, I mean, that I would consider that pretty close to black. And I wouldn't mind having them tie together a little bit too, so.
Do we not have, does anyone have something in their package for the monument sign?
Dan,
It should be on sheet SP1 in the upper left corner.
it's behind the picture of the restaurant.
It's kind of hidden in the upper left, I think is
Yeah.
what the issue is.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Is it, Leon, when were you looking to install the sign?
Well, we want to get the foundations in here when we put some of the foundations in for the tower that we're looking at adding to this building. So I'd like to get the foundations in fairly soon.
It looks like the sign is in Fairview's right away.
No, actually, you're right. We need to move it back. That property line does jog there. Sorry about
And
that.
you probably, I don't know our signage setbacks offhand, but as long as, you comply with that too. I don't know if you might end up losing a space there.
Yeah, I'll comply with the setback of whatever the setback is required.
And I'm no sign designer, but I really, really like the look of the horizontal screen fencing on the roof. That's kind of like the parapet looking screening. Man, if that was something you could do with the tenants' names on the monument sign, that'd be really cool.
I did think about that in between, behind it, because actually it's labeled Osaka, Japan there. That is not the name. We got to get we're waiting to get that name together. But I was thinking about possibly doing that wood behind just his sign to try to tie it together. I think that would.
On his, yeah, because the others, it wouldn't make sense. I got it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Sampan, would that sign design come back once we know the names and so forth? That would come back to the meeting you discussed next
Yes.
week.
Yeah, we'll for his name, yes. That'll all be at the like I said, I don't think we can make the January meeting, but for the February meeting.
And is it going to be a digital sign? Is that?
So no, only the top portion. That's what one of my tenants has asked for. He wants to have a digital, just the Highland Dental would be the digital portion, and the remainder would be internally illuminated.
I guess while we're on the sign, and evidently I'm the sign height police, it says the height would be, I guess the existing sign is 14 feet high, is that right?
Correct. It's an old pole sign.
And so you're removing that and replacing it with this sign?
Correct.
And so would he need to get a variance there if he's going to be at 10 feet?
No, he would not. He would follow rules 11:15. I'm sorry, 11:45:15 D2B, which he's permitted to go 10 feet and standby. 36 square feet. He's a multi-tenant
Oh,
building.
because it's a multi-tenant? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm going to be the expert on sign heights after this meeting.
I could use some help.
Yeah, you're gonna need to recite the code next time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I got to bring my A game, not my B game.
We'll just follow North Olmsted. They just redid their whole thing, their whole signage thing, I think.
Yeah, Leon, for that sign, what's the base of that?
It's gonna be brick. I'm gonna paint the brick to match the building.
Okay.
It's basically the dark charcoal. So all the colors of that sign will match the main strip center. And then, like I said, I'll bring I am gonna look at possibly putting that wood behind the restaurant and incorporate that into that. But I'll bring that section back to the February meeting.
Finley, are they adding any site lighting to the building? I'm not seeing any on the.
No, it's just gonna be soffit lighting, which is existing right now. That'll just be changed out to LED, but no additional parking lot lighting or anything.
Okay.
I might be putting some additional security lighting in the back there, but that'll be it.
And is that storefront existing or is that being replaced?
That is existing. However, we're looking at, well, actually, I shouldn't say it's all existing. The storefront on the left would be new. However, we are looking at just pricing out the new storefront system. It's not insulated glass, so I think because the window at the west elevation, that is a new punched opening, 5 foot wide. The actual main storefront is the existing size, and then the new doors on the left, that would be new. So really, we're looking at trying to save 23 feet of storefront. I think we're probably just redo it.
Okay.
And that's a bronze right now, so we'd end up probably going with a black storefront.
Okay.
Also for the board on A1, there was identification for a pickup window, and that has been revised with the construction drawings. That is no longer part of the plans.
Yeah, I know we're in our zoning, we're not allowed to have that. So. Unless we can get it approved.
Hey, Leon, and that storefront you're saying, so you got the main entry, if you're looking at the rendering to the right and to the far left, there's windows. That looks like those are falling in the kitchen area.
Yeah, let me, I have I can share my screen here. I got the construction drawing here. It changed slightly from, so here's the, once we submitted for permit drawings after we did this submittal, but so we're adding a second egress door. So basically the customers could come in and then circulate through here. So it is actually just a little bit more to the west.
Okay, yeah, it makes more sense.
So it looks like this is almost like a Chipotle with like Japanese food, huh? Where you walk through
Correct.
and order a bowl and order your ingredients. Cool.
Correct. And I mean, there's some limited seating, but yeah, there's some seating. If we could ever get out of Corona.
I guess I'll make one more comment too. On the outside where that glass is, it looks like you have some tabletop kind of bar seating almost along that window. Is there gonna be like a privacy screen, or is that gonna be still clear glass?
That's still clear glass.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bar top would just kind of interrupt the window, but I think it's more or less just, free float away from the window. It's more or less just to kind of, if somebody wants to sit and look outside while they're eating.
Any additional questions from the commission?
Yeah, Nick, if we move forward today, I'm assuming all signage is coming back in February. The exterior renovation would be the charcoal over the black in painting, but I don't know what the answer is on the red aluminum cap. If we're gonna illuminate it, I feel like it should come through here before.
Yeah, I can actually, we were talking about making up a sample and bringing it to the meeting, so that we can do that, so you can see it illuminated. And just submit it with the sign. I have no problem doing that.
And that'll come with the signage in February.
Right. Yeah, so right now we can leave it as a brake metal cap.
Okay, and then everybody, I'm with you guys. I think the black was too much. I mind the charcoal much less, but I do get the coloring for the restaurant. So, yeah, I guess if the cap comes back with some kind of illuminated sample that looks good, then we'll see it in February.
Okay.
Any other additional questions, comments? Now open it to the public. And I'm not seeing any hands raised or anything. All right, you're muted.
Leanne's talking.
Just kidding.
Does anyone want to speak? If you want to write in chat, did you want to say something or raise your hand? Nobody? Oh, one chat. Got one. Nope. Nobody wants to say anything.
Okay.
Great. With all the items Dan described, do we want, does anybody have a motion? I can make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the design contingent upon switching out the black with charcoal to come back for the illuminated panel, present that. And also, I think we agree that the monumental sign has to come back for review.
That I thought it was just the signage for the building, but I guess you can.
Yeah, the monument sign, remember the placement too, so.
Correct, the tenant placement.
Okay, I think we're all in agreement the design's approved, but yeah, the placement. Well,
okay, so I just want to get the footer in, that's all. So.
Well, maybe we could get with Leon before he pours a footer for the sign. I was just looking, I don't see a signage setback for the business zoning. So I went into the actual signage, the 114515, and I don't see any sign setbacks, but I can't believe that's the case.
I think it is. I don't know though, but I think it might be 0.
Well, you're on mute. Well, you're muted, buddy.
Yeah, and you muted me. No,
I must have somehow.
it is in the sign code. It is a little farther up. And we'll identify that in the construction drawings. So that would be part of, you guys can approve whatever you want to approve today, but the construction drawings will take care of the zoning part.
So what is the setback wall?
I believe it's 8 feet,
Okay.
but my computer's a little slow.
We'll comply with whatever the setback is. So.
All right, with that, I'll do a second attempt then.
All right, Nick.
Motion to approve based on the black design being changed to a charcoal tone. The illuminated panel to be resubmitted for review. And the design of the monument sign is approved contingent upon setback requirements.
And after further review, it is 5 feet from property lines, 25 feet from residential districts. And I think we're pretty close. When the drawings, it's not the scale as identified in the drawings. I believe it is going to be pretty close to that already. But Mr. Sampat will make sure it's.
Yeah, I'll make sure I get it back there. I'll submit a construction drawing for that too.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Jika,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmich,
Yes.
Councilman Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Kramer, Mr. Movick,
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leon.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, docket item 12-20-28P 22210 Lorraine Road, Kevin Potatzik, Ohio Awning Manufacturing.
Hello. I represent the property owner for, we're going to be just replacing the existing cover on the steel frame on the building and changing it to a blue that would be more in tune with Allstate's color, since they're the anchor tenant on that corner. We'll be using a vinyl material that is flame resistant and would be the same type of material that was up there, except in royal blue.
Great. I assume Walt too. I'll jump on this with the zoning. The height requirement, since it's an existing framing, I'm not seeing what the height is above the ground for the awning.
It should be 8 feet. Yeah, minimum. It was actually permitted the last time this was covered, so it was showing 8 foot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that on the application wall. It looks like no variances on the height, so I'm assuming the 8 foot's in compliance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Mr. Potasnik, the only thing on there is the address, correct? There's no other advertising, no other signage?
Correct. The address is currently on there, and we're just duplicating that because they have a sign above.
Thank you.
Any questions from the commission? Looks like any questions or comments from the public?
And if you want to raise your hand or share a chat, if you want to speak, if not, don't do anything and we'll move on.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve docket 122028P for the awning restoration as presented.
Second.
I'd second that.
Mr. Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Jika,
Yes.
Mr. Pitch,
Yes.
Councilman Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Movick,
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, last item on the docket 12-20-29P 21300 Lorraine Road, Michael Polito, applicant, review of plan for fencing.
You have to unmute. You need to unmute. There you go.
Great. Sorry. Hey, good evening, folks. So we're just looking to replace a dilapidated fence in the rear west portion of our property. It's like 60 feet. It's going to be a shadow box. It says B/B on the estimate or the invoice from Roland Brothers Fence that's doing it. But with our esteemed building inspector, we made sure that was not board on board. It's in fact shadow box. So it's 6-foot treated shadow box fence. That's all we're looking to do.
All right, I guess Michael, to clarify, it's just going to remain treated. You're not painting it or staining it or.
You know, we'll probably just leave it, yeah, because there's a fence that's in the rear portion of the property that's the same, so we'd want it to stay the same. I'm hoping this is one of the simplest ones for you guys.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get all my questions together, Michael.
I'm fascinated.
That's why Derek's here. I can see he's
Fascinated by
ready
this
to jump in.
process. So you guys get a chance to like interrogate two lawyers, go right ahead. Come on, let's go.
I gotta put you under oath first.
No, John, that's dangerous, please.
And that's Michael, that property to the west you're a part owner of that property as well?
Correct. 4277/79 is owned by myself and Angelo Russo.
Okay.
So we have no objection, just in case.
Well, what about Angelo?
He's not here.
Yeah.
Open up the commission. Any more questions, comments? Good. All right, open up to the public.
Anything, anybody? Who's out there? Who's left out there? If you want to speak, go ahead.
Nothing. Okay, motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve docket 12-20-29P for 213 Lorraine Road as presented.
Second motion.
Mr. Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Jika,
Yes.
yes. Okay. Mr. Kimmich,
Yes.
Councilman Minnick,
Yes.
Ms. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Movick,
Yes.
Mayor Cooney.
Yes.
Great, one of the easy ones. That's it.
Glad it was, folks.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Derek.
Guys, thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
All right, end of docket. Next item, general business and communications.
All the hype for Jiffy Lube gone again.
Yeah, all that work.
Mhm.
Did you guys realize what the process was with our vote today? What the next step was? So per the charter was, if we approved it, regardless of our vote, it would still go to council next. And if we approved it, it would just need a majority vote. If we did not approve it, they would need a majority plus one vote to overturn our recommendation.
Yeah, whatever our recommendation would have been, it would have been like a majority plus one to override the recommendation.
Power
And,
that we have.
I'm sorry?
The power that we have.
Yes. And yeah, it's we would have had a, council talk with their council late this afternoon and to inform him of what the overwhelming feeling was from the community. And shortly thereafter, we were contacted by the attorney withdrawing the application, the request.
The power of the people.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone's, appreciate the people responding.
Looked like Will had a question.
Yeah. He wrote in a chat. Will, do you want me to read that for you, or do you want to unmute? He said,
Sorry, I'll unmute.
Okay.
So the general question was, if it did pass PD and council, could Mayor Coney veto it? Just an idea.
I could veto any legislation. I mean, that's the power I have. So if anything that's passed, I could veto.
Okay, thank you.
I thank the entire board for their information and all the emails and all the correspondences that came through my office and through council's office, and taking the time to review them and be prepared for this meeting. Unfortunately, they did withdraw it, and Merry Christmas, you guys.
I appreciate all Leanne's work on this. This was it's a lot of work.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
I don't see anyone else speaking up to say anything, so.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.